You are listening to the Better Me podcast. Before we get into today's episode, wish you all a fantabulous day ahead. A bamboo tree takes about 3 years to grow and establish itself, whereas a banyan tree takes a large amount, a huge time to grow. It might even take 12 years. A bamboo has its own utility, and the way it is structured and the way it grows, it's all totally different from that of a banyan tree. The utility of a banyan tree is also totally different from that of a bamboo. It would be pointless to compare the growth rate of a banyan tree and a bamboo. And I hope everybody accepts this point. When you can understand that one tree is different from that of the other, and the way it develops and grows and matures and lives its course of life is different. The same is true for each and every species on this earth. Each and every species is unique. Each and every human is unique. Then, how would it stand right to compare yourself with somebody else? Maybe it could even be your friend or your relative or your sibling or your spouse, anybody. How would it stand right to compare yourself with somebody else's growth? When you know that you are unique and the way you grow, you mature, depends totally on your own self. Because your abilities are different from that of the other person. Your grasping power, your learning technique, your growing methodology, the way you live your life, it's all totally different from that of the other person. No two person can be same, and everybody should agree to it. That being the case, how would it stand right to compare yourself with somebody else? And if you are somebody who compares your growth or yourself with somebody else, do think about it. We all might have at some point or the other in our life compared ourselves. Okay, might be not willingly or not knowingly, but seeing somebody's growth, we might have questioned about ourselves, questioned our own growth. Somebody whom you know very well, in front of you, when you were being with them or knowing them very well, you might have seen them grow tremendously and in a very short space of time. But your growth might not have been that great. But still, you were doing all that you could. But the output didn't seem really great as compared to the other person whom you have seen growing really fast. Immediately, without your knowledge, what you do, you start comparing yourself with that person. Be it anything, be it financially or career-wise or have faith in their life, be it anything. On any basis, when you see somebody else better than you start comparing yourself, which is totally and absolutely really not going to help you. You start comparing yourself with somebody else, what really happens is you start doubting your own self. As I've already said, everyone is unique and there is no comparison between the sun and the moon. And the sun and the moon shine in their own time. You cannot ask the sun to rise when it's night, and you cannot ask the moon to be shining brightly when it's noontime. The same way, each and everybody's life, you will for sure go through peaks and depressions. You will hit the rock bottom. You will reach the top. It's going to happen. But it doesn't have to be synchronous with the other person. You don't have to lead your life as per the standards or as per the rules set by somebody else. You will win when it's your time. As I said, a bamboo grows fast and it has its own utility. I'm not trying to say that the bamboo is weak compared to the banyan tree because there's no comparison. It has its own strength, it has its own utility, and it is the way, or it goes the way just because it serves its purpose. And the banyan tree, it's big, it's very strong, and its roots are deep. It takes a long time to get that strength, and it has its own utility. There is no comparison. The same way, you are born in this earth and you have your own goals, your own life, and your own way of building it up. Then why do you have to look at somebody else and feel that you aren't worth, or you haven't reached that great heights in this span of time? As I said, you just have to be concentrating only on your life, because you are the most wonderful person on this earth. You can not exist in anybody else, because you're unique and you will not be born again. When that is the case, and you are given your own story to, how will you compare it with somebody else? I understand that it is annoying or it feels bad to have not reached that state of growth or that state of wealth or whatever it be that you see when somebody else is having it, that you aspire to or you wanted to, but you don't have it at that point of time. But remember, you're still working for it. I hope you are working for it. No matter how slow, everything is growth. Growth does not always have to be fast. It can be slow. And you all know this story of this slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes slow and steady is all that you need, and that's what you're doing without your knowledge. But when you unnecessarily get trapped into such comparisons, that's where you need to concentrate and get back in track. These comparisons will only disturb you from your peaceful life. Just by comparing and feeling bad, what do you get? A few moments of regret that you haven't done enough, despite the fact being you are doing your best and you would get the best. Maybe it's just taking time. As I said, everyone has their own cycle. Not everyone will be down, will be at their rock bottom always. No, it's not like that. It's a circle. Once you go up, you might come down, and once you come down, you might go up, and you will go up. That's how it is. That's the essence of life. That's how life goes on, and that's what makes life beautiful and more lively. If you're going to be only in depression or only at the top enjoying your life, you will not feel what it actually means to be happy or what it actually means to be sad. Only when there is variation, there is life. You go through these ups and downs, you need to know how to handle them. Even when you're at your rock bottom, when you have totally exhausted all hope, or when you're at your peak and living the best life of your wish, you should know how to handle it. You shouldn't take it to your head, and you should know that it's a cycle. Once you go up, you might go down, and when you go down, you have to come up. This is how it is. So there's no point in comparing. Be happy for what they have done or what they have achieved, and it's their purpose, it's their goal, it's how their life is meant to be, and it's not yours to worry or to feel bad or to compare yourself and get into disappointment, because you have your own purpose. You are want to accomplish something that is great, and you know your pace and you're doing it the perfect way. That is a fact. So let's give up on this comparison. Even if you're doing it without your knowledge, the next time you see somebody, be happy for them, bless them if possible. At the same time, be happy for what you have been doing, because you're doing a great job. When you change your outlook like this, there won't even be subtle disturbances like this when you compare somebody with yourself or your growth with somebody else's growth, because you yourself are a beautiful being and you lead a beautiful life. Remember that, and you're unique.